Hello and welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 187.
Yeah. Go us.
Woohoo. Oh my god, I need to sneeze. Jesus.
Don't you love that excellent timing every time? This is why I like.
It just occurred to me, we can see each other with video. Do you record the video too and put that on YouTube, or is it just audio? I mean, this is a podcast.
No, it's video. Video's on YouTube.
Video. Yeah.
Unless Shark changed it. Yeah, no. The podcast is no video, but the YouTube video is
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I don't even know if you still use it, but I made
just the overlay and stuff.
Yeah, I made the overlay.
Still use it. Same old setup.
Cool. Makes sense.
For years.
Cool.
Why would I change? Something that's not broken.
It's a good overlay.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. So same old setup for I don't know how many years.
Clearly, I watch every episode.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. It's been a month. Felt longer than a month though, for some reason. Like this time around.
It did. It must have been the beginning and end, or it must have been.
I think there were maybe
wide month.
I wonder if there was a couple more weeks in August or something. A couple, probably just one.
I know there is like an extra week, like August start in the middle and then end in the middle kind of thing. I know this because of work. I could look at targets and shit, right? So.
Yep, I know that feeling. Yeah, speaking of jobs, I have switched over to kind of a newish job. I mean, I'm going from nonprofit work to private practice.
Selling your soul.
Yes, kind of. I mean, nonprofit in the mental health world is also kind of selling your soul, so for less pay. I am selling my soul to private insurance, which, newsflash, still sucks as much as Medicaid does, so but at least they pay you. So that's good at least, and they require less paperwork to actually give you your money, so I'll take that, I guess. So it's been an interesting journey. I'm essentially freelance working for myself with this job, so it's got its less security, but, more flexibility. So we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Flexibility is hard to value, but is often undervalued.
Yeah. It's really just, I have to build up my caseload. So right now I've had a lot of time on my hands, which I am not using well. I am just doing a lot of resting. So I guess that's a good thing, but also not efficient use of my time. That's okay.
But that's the thing, right? It's like we have to constantly be efficient, constantly be doing something, because if not, we don't eat. It's just such a broken system, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to sell capitalism today.
Communism? Okay.
Come on, comrade.
I don't have that much, so I'm going to just go first, which I usually don't. I finished Psychonauts 2.
It. I didn't know it came out. I saw the big news. I didn't realize it was released. Wow, that was fast.
It was a longer game than I thought it would be. It took me about 30 plus hours, and I did not get all the collectibles. I got a lot of them, so it's one of those runs where most of my runs are like this. It's like I try to do a lot of side stuff, but I never 100% most things because I don't want to worry about that. But 30 plus hours is a really good amount for what was the previous game was like 10 maybe? I don't even remember, but I know it's
longer than that.
Was it? I really have no.
Less than. I mean, I didn't finish it, and I think I played it for about that long.
It's been a long time, actually. I kind of want to go back to play the first one now. So yeah, Psychonauts 2 is probably... I can't really see any other releases this year, so it's probably going to be my game of the year, honestly. It's really good. I've seen some people, they have certain complaints. A lot of it is comparing it to the first one. They're not comparing it to the VR one because, not like a proper sequel, I guess. But for me, Psychonauts 2, it was flawless, honestly. It had everything going for it. I love the art style, the aesthetics, obviously. That whole, just weird psychic stuff, that's just really good. The voice acting was perfect. The characters, the writing was just really so good. The level design is above all of that, and each level is super unique, with its own unique aesthetic, and it's just I would say that for the one thing that I would like to see more of, I would have liked to see more of is each level having more of its own like unique mechanics, I guess. There was a couple with unique mechanics, but a lot of it was just mostly platforming and some combat. But I would have preferred it to have more unique mechanics, which it did have for a couple of levels, but not all. But yeah, it's amazing. It's such a good game. Holy shit. And I don't know, it's just like going into people's at the beginning they even gave a warning like a lot of this will be dealing with a lot of like mental trauma and shit, but the main point of the game is about healing, and it's very like the writing is just on point with that. It's one of those games where they don't say shit like in the game description, oh, this game is dealing with depression or something, but it's actually a really well thought out story, and like just around it's just so good. Highly recommended, especially if you like just for the gameplay alone. Level design, the platforming, the combat is fun. Platforming is really really fun. The level design is amazing, but the story is also so good. Writing and the voice is perfect.
Cool.
It's 10 out of 10.
That's awesome. Psychonauts is one of those games that I wish I had known about when I was younger. I haven't played it, and I really regret it because it sounds like it's really up my alley. But
I think you can still play
You can play
it.
on Steam.
I think it holds
It's
up.
on Steam.
Okay.
It's on Steam. Yeah.
I just meant like, I mean, yeah, it's definitely you're definitely physically able to play it.
Fair
but
enough,
also,
fair
I think you can still play it and enjoy it.
Okay,
It's not
fair
like it's not like what's the Catcher in the Rye,
Maybe
where if you read it now you hate it.
maybe there's a little bit of clunkiness because it is a PS2 platformer.
right.
But I don't think it will be the worst thing.
Sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember it still feeling pretty good when I played it like 5 years ago.
Fair enough, yeah. I'm so mad. I remember when I got a little older, I was a little old for it by the time I knew about it. And I was like, what? No one told me about a psychic mental health game? What the hell?
So yeah, Psychonauts 2, my game of the year. Highly recommended to
Yeah.
everybody.
It's I mean this in a way that doesn't slight. No offense meant to anybody, but it feels like things that's newer. It feels like a smoother Jet Set Radio. A lot of the control, like just the way it kind of feels, is the same, but maybe a little
Polish.
less hard to actually play.
A little more
Jet Set
polish.
Radio is it's old, so it's hard to play sometimes.
And I also like that it has the difficulty you can turn on. You can turn off fall damage. You can even turn off like getting damage and stuff. So you can like customize.
I remember I think that's where I saw it. People were outraged at this easy mode.
It's fucking Psychonauts. It's not Dark Souls.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right, exactly.
Calm
Like-
People are
down.
nuts.
Like if Dark Souls, I can kind of get it maybe because it's whatever.
It's become known at this point of having that, so I just kind of shrug at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, accessibility and difficulty levels. Whew.
I mean, if for whatever crazy reason, if From Software decided Dark Souls 4 or whatever would have like difficulty options, customizable, I'd be like, cool, I might play it.
Very cool.
For sure.
But this
Yeah,
is
I'm probably not going to play
Psychonauts.
the new one, but if it was easier, maybe I would.
Exactly.
But
Is it a
I
direct
did my time.
sequel to the first one, the Psychonauts?
Psychonauts, it is a direct sequel, but there is
Okay.
also a VR game in the middle that they came out with like a couple years ago. So it also is a direct sequel to that.
Okay, fair enough.
Like the events, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they referenced it a few times. Pretty sure it's like right after the events of the VR game.
Time for Wikipedia.
So yeah, definitely get it. It's a $60 game, so
Yeah, I might wait.
I know a lot of people do not buy $60 games, but yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
But it sounds $30 is closer to being worth $60 than I would have expected. Because like $60 for a game that I expected to be under 20, it's like whoa.
Oh, you mean hours? 20 hours?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
sorry,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Like 30 plus hours is not a bad. A lot of AAA like
No.
action adventure games, the big ones like God of War, like Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. They tend to be like 30 plus hours. I can get it off. Get
Yeah.
For sure.
main story plus a lot of side stuff, but not 100%. So can probably even go more than that if I really want 100% everything, which I don't. So yeah. Talking about, I guess, Soul stuff. Neo, the first Neo game, the complete edition, is currently free on Epic Games. If that's a thing that people want, I went to get it because I just collect shit. But I'm not even sure. I heard
the
Neo
free
is
games.
harder than Dark Souls, so I am not sure if I'm gonna play it ever. But yeah.
Just start the game and say you tried.
Other than that, I have a robot that transforms into a cyborg ape thing. That's
It's
new,
cool.
I guess.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's from Overwatch, right?
So yeah, honestly, that's it. I didn't really watch anything. I'm kind of properly watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine from season 1 right now.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I haven't actually watched that one. Watch a lot of
I
clips
haven't
on
either.
YouTube.
Yeah, same. I actually haven't really sat down. Part of the problem for me is just that anybody else who I would watch it with has already seen it.
Yeah.
So it's just not a show I feel like watching by myself right now.
But I feel like funny sitcoms sometimes it's pretty good for a rewatch.
Yeah,
It's one of the easier things to rewatch,
Yeah.
I'd say.
that's fair. That's fair. I'll see if I can tag somebody in. Yeah, I didn't play a whole lot. I do have the new Great Ace Attorney. I feel very embarrassed to say that I only got past the first case because, I don't know. Are the
I forgot
text
about that.
boxes smaller? Yeah, did you
it
finish?
is?
Because I haven't.
No. I'm on the last case for the first game.
Okay, I'm still
then
only on the
Psychonauts
second
2 happened.
case. Yeah, that's fair. I feel horrible, but there's so much. It's actually almost too much dialogue for me right now. And I think part of the
Yep.
problem was the first case had way too much of a I'm new and don't know what I'm doing aspect to it.
The
I know
exposition
why.
stuff and tutorials
Yeah,
and
yeah, and I understand why. But actually, part of the real problem for me in the first case was that was annoying. But even worse was how often I couldn't tell when the end point was. It felt like it went on a little too long because they kept being like, oh, this is the final time. If you don't get this, you're going to lose. Oh, no, I'm going to lose. Wait, we have a breakthrough. Okay, got to do this. Oh, no, I'm gonna... it way too much of that.
Yeah,
So the hype
yeah.
factor was okay, I don't know when. All right, apparently, I don't know how long this is going for. And so by the time I got to the second case, I was actually just kind of exhausted. And so
Yeah.
I haven't picked it back up.
It's honestly
I want
tiring.
to. Okay, yeah, I'm just glad I'm not the only one because so
Yeah.
many people online are saying it's the best one yet. I'm just
Holy fuck, no. Wait, hold up. The best Ace Attorney game in the
Yeah.
entire series?
A
What the
lot
fuck is
of-
wrong with
well,
these people?
yeah, I guess
Did
I
the
always hear it in
original
so many
trilogy
ways.
just did not happen or something?
I probably shouldn't listen to these Twitter people because they also think Apollo Justice is the best ever, and I'm like, okay,
What?
I know.
Okay,
I like that
actually,
name.
after playing this one, I am finally able to admit to myself that every other game outside of the original trilogy and maybe the first Miles Edgeworth, they kind of dropped the ball a couple of times. My favorite is still the original trilogy, to be honest.
I do like the original trilogy. I actually like the 3DS games a lot,
Okay.
personally. But it's,
That one,
but
the
it's
story
also,
was just a little bit much for me.
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. I just I think to me it was a little sharper. This feels like it's dragging, and I don't know if it's just because I haven't played an Ace Attorney game in a minute. I'm also wondering if the text boxes are smaller because they only do 2 lines, and I swear the older games did 3, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it really takes a conversation that takes 2 text box links and sorry, something that could take 1 text box and it takes 2. I don't know. That's just a weird picky thing for me. But we'll see. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like it's a little draggy. But I am gonna play it. I bought it. It's Ace Attorney. I want to support it. I want them to make more games, but it's a little rough. I wonder if the second one's gonna be easier, just because you don't have
The
to go
second
through
case?
No, isn't there a second game?
There's
Great
a
Ace
second
Attorney?
game.
Yeah. I wonder if that one's going to be a little easier to get through. I did accidentally get spoiled on one thing. I do not understand how or why, but I think it doesn't happen until the second game, and I'm very confused, but that's okay. I don't understand, but that's okay. So anyway, that's the only real game I've been playing. A little bit of 14 smattering
You're on the
here and there.
second case.
Yep, just met Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, God. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, the first 2 cases made me kind of want to stop playing.
Okay, I'm glad.
Okay. And then the third case was actually okay.
Okay. I feel a little better hearing that. I thought it was a me issue. I'm glad to hear it's not, because that's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna
Herlock
power through
Sholmes
it.
is a horrible character.
Fair enough.
And his how early are you in second case? You just met Herlock Sholmes.
I am about to. I just got permission to leave the cabin and investigate the second room.
So there's gonna be something in that second room, a new mechanic, and that mechanic is so fucking draggy and annoying. That's gonna happen in every other case.
Got it. Okay, I'll be prepared.
It's a Sherlock Holmes mechanic, and it's just.
Got it.
Oh my god! I don't. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Survive.
The third case is okay.
Yeah.
The third case is actually interesting.
Fair enough. I just am very relieved to hear that I'm just not like a loser, because I really felt horrible being like, everybody says this game's amazing and I just can't. So I'm glad to hear that, but I'll keep pushing through and hope it gets a little hope I get a little more invested in the characters, because I'm not even the type of person that like hates new characters. You know, some people are all like, it's not the original. I have no bone in my body about that.
Just to be clear, like, I like the original trilogy because I think it's really well written and the pace was amazing. Mm-hmm. I don't mind new characters. Like, I like the was she in the original trilogy? The one where she does the what's her name?
I don't know. Describe her.
She introduced like the forensics one.
Oh, Emma Skye.
Yes. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, she's great.
Was she in Apollo Justice or something?
She was. Yep, she was the lead detective there.
She wasn't in the original, right? Trilogy?
She was. So basically she was in the first game, but it was so the games originally were just in Japan on the Game Boy.
Game Boy, yeah.
Or Game Boy Advanced. And then when they came here, they were translated in, when they went all over the world, actually, they were translated and on the DS. So they made that case with her in the first game as like a special DS special case. Because it's the only one where like you can do forensics. She does not appear in the rest of the trilogy because she was not even in a concept during the original trilogy. And then she shows up in Miles Edgeworth, she shows up in Apollo Justice, and she shows up in the second 3DS game. I don't think she doesn't show up in the first one.
Also, I know this game is made by the Japanese.
Yeah.
But that's just a weird like self-deprecation with the whole Japanese British thing. It was so weird.
Gosh. It's super weird.
So just to give context, in this game, it's like what? Early 1900s, 1800s, steamship time, Victorian era, Japan kind of thing. And then
Japan just opened up.
And then they have relations with Britain. So British people are over in Japan studying, blah, 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 doing relations and shit. And then eventually you'll go to Britain to do your own studying, become a lawyer thing. And then there's just this weird self-deprecation by the Japanese with like, oh my god, you're British, you're so civilized, and like the Japanese language is so horrible, it's so hard to. Why?
It's so weird. Oh my gosh.
That's awkward.
The first case, and I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, but it's the first case of a Phoenix Wright game. Like, it's a spoiler, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, unsurprised. Yeah.
It's basically the trial tutorial kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, unsurprisingly, the first case, you get blamed for murdering a British man. And surprise, surprise, it turns out a British woman killed him. And when she finally comes in to the trial, she's racist. There's no other way to put it. She's a racist.
Well, she's British.
Exactly.
Yes. It's just in their blood. They can't help it.
And it's very bizarre because sometimes she says really bad stuff in the prosecutor, where the whole joke is he's like super accommodating, because of course he is. He wants to beat you.
Sometimes the judge too.
Yeah, but the judge a little is too, or at least the judge like kind of doesn't say anything. Although the line the judge had where he goes, "I'm sorry, I realized you didn't understand me. That was not a question. That was an order." That was a good part. That was good. Yeah, that was great. I loved that. Especially, I have a very minimal understanding of Japanese language, so I was like, "Oh, I got that." So that was great.
Yeah, it's just.
But oh my gosh. And then like other times, people just ignore it. They don't call her out on it. I'm like, what?
It got really cringy and annoying. Like, honestly, it's just
super
and I
cringy.
do not understand why Capcom went with that, or whoever Capcom, right? They're not just the publishers, right? Okay. I just do not understand why they went that route. Or
the thing is
but
that
I think I'm not even sure if the original games were like that though.
No, well, the original games never talked about, Japanese versus whatever, because in the I only so in the American the English translated versions,
the fan translations.
Wait, which game are you talking about? I'm sorry.
This new one, the Great Ace.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the original trilogy.
Oh, no,
yeah,
no.
I have no idea. I never read the fan translation, so I don't know how deep they got into it. But yeah, it's uncomfortable. If it weren't for the fact that it was made by a Japanese company, I would have been like, whoa, no. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean,
the thing.
Also,
yeah.
I just want to be like fair and clear, I guess. I understand that there's the whole like the West fetishizing Japan and all that, but Japan is also very much a very popular and celebrated culture in the world. So I'm not like, oh my god, they're like minorities. They're fucking not. There's like 100 million motherfuckers over there, and they're very
doing
well
pretty
celebrated globally and all that. But it's just really cringy. Like,
it's very cringy. It's cringy. The thing is, this is not the first game made by a Japanese company I've seen that, like, it's not as bad, but Final Fantasy XIV, they kind of pull this a little bit too. Not as much, but, like, basically there's an area that you go to that's called the Far East, and it's basically Japan. You know, it's a whole, they're different people, they have different, and the thing is that, like, I wouldn't say it's, like, necessarily as bad
is that where all the
they're
sexy
like,
bunnies are from?
No. They're from a different area.
Okay.
No, it's actually literally they're all the only special like race that mostly comes from there are the dragon scaly people. But otherwise all other races can be there, but they're just Japanese, basically. And like the thing is that they're not necessarily like, oh, you know, cringy, and your characters aren't necessarily racist, but they do treat it like it's some like weird place. Like the big thing that's so crazy that they call themselves out for, and maybe this is just a translation thing, I have no idea, but like one of the big things they say is they're like, basically you meet somebody who's like an ambassador there at this Far East place, and he's like, oh, it's so nice to see you guys, you know, these people here, they never say what they mean, they always
Can
you know
you
speak.
play as one of those like Far East dragon scaly people? Is that a character?
Yeah. That's a race you can play.
Okay, so
yeah, it's a race you can play. But you have to understand that, like, when you make your Warrior of Light, you kind of have to impose your own thoughts on it. Your character, the idea is that
it's a blank slate, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a blank slate. They treat you as if you've always been from the main continent, because those dragon scaly people sometimes immigrated to the main game continent. So, like, either way, you know, you don't really choose to say you're from there. It's not like, you know, the Elder Scrolls games. You pick a race.
Okay.
And, you know, people treat you like an outsider, basically, when you're not in the main continent.
So there's no, like, different racial context depending on what, like Dragon Age did that with, like, different backstories.
No, it really doesn't. There's, like, tiny little dialogue differences in some of the off-main quests, but otherwise, not really. It's pretty...
people from the main continent that's not dragon scaly people go over for whatever quest or story and think it's kind of weirdish. In a world where sexy bunnies ride chickens... They think the dragon people are weird.
Well, they don't say that the dragon people are weird, but the customs of the Far
culture.
East people, are like, oh wow, like there's different emotes for a Far Eastern bow versus a normal bow. I'm not making this up. Okay. Like that's just a thing. So, and again, it's made by a Japanese company. This is their choice, I guess, to do this.
There is a, I will definitely say, being somebody from, I'm not from Japan, but even in Southeast Asia and like, which is two different parts of Asia, and it's there's definitely a lot of honestly the best word I can use for it is white worship. There's just a really weird amount of white worship in like some, also like you can sometimes call it fair skin worship as well, but also
That's
a
fair.
lot of white culture worship. It's just weird, man.
Yeah.
Coming from, it's especially weird if you're aware like me in a place that does it. It's really cringy to be surrounded by it. I don't know how to explain. It's just really weird.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like...
And I have to call it out all the fucking time when I see it. Exhausting. Okay?
It sounds exhausting. Anybody with a modicum of understanding another person's point of view, it's weird. But I'm not living it. I just observe, and I'm like, if I was in this position, I would find this strange. But yeah.
And obviously, like, you know, like artists can choose whatever like art style or whatever like face they want, but it just makes it difficult when this bunch of Japanese properties use very much like a white Western like facial structure, and then the alt-right people like, of course a white person can act in that role. That's like Look at the anime. It's a white person. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just, like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that, and the Japanese are very proud people too, and very xenophobic. So I just do not understand this things where they're okay with certain things, like using white faces, but they're not okay with, like, I don't know. They're just weird. Okay, it's
very strange.
They're very
it's
selective
weird.
in their xenophobia, I guess.
Yeah. Very homogeneous culture. So, but yeah, it's interesting. To give 14 a little bit of credit, they at least have another continent, and I'm only saying this just to show, like, listen, they're not saying necessarily that white is, like, the main thing.
White
they
is
do have
right.
another right, exactly. They do kind of have a separate continent that's basically like cold France. And they also kind of have different culture things and stuff like that. The funniest thing, it's never explicitly stated. You can only get it within the subtext. But the funniest thing that they kind of say about them that's weird is, like, their food customs make no freaking sense. Like, there's something called a communal salt lick. Like, I don't mean that. I know that what that sounds like. But that's kind of the joke.
Is there a bunch of cow people?
No.
Dear people.
Yeah, but, like, that's the joke is, like, they have these bizarre foods and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's how the Japanese think of French people, but I think that's hilarious.
It's just
so
that's also one of the reasons why I kind of fell out of love with a lot of the newer Final Fantasies. There's a lot of Western influence now,
yeah,
where it wasn't
I can see that.
previously, and it was just it's its own unique thing back then, and
Yeah.
now a lot of, like, Western influence, which is, whatever, but just, like,
getcha.
My definition, or, like, my description of what a Final Fantasy game is kind of just broke after, like, a certain number.
No, that makes sense to me. It is kind of funny with 14 because in my head, I kind of thought of it through a Japanese lens, as much as it's probably just catered a lot more to white culture than I thought it did. That's how it. So when you go to that Far Eastern place, that's how they present. I was like, wait, what? That's not what? So it's very bizarre. But anyway, yay. Japanese
Have you
writers.
seen, like, a huge influx of new players? Because I've seen a lot of people moving to, after that whole WoW Blizzard Activision, the thing.
Oh, yes, we have. Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen a lot of people on Twitter moving from WoW to
Yeah.
FF14 and loving it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. They're having a great time. Thankfully, our data center isn't nearly as flooded as whichever one, whatever that famous WoW player that moved, Osmongold or something. He
Is he like a streamer or something?
Yeah. There's a famous. It was a huge thing. There's a famous streamer that was known exclusively for WoW, and he left WoW and tried 14. And at first, everybody was really butthurt because he was making fun of the game, and then other people were like, "No, this is fine." It's the 14 community is very like, it's very like, polar opposites. You have the usual, you can imagine super like, this is a great game. And then you have other people like, this is fun, new friends. But overall, 14's a little friendlier, I would say, than WoW. I don't say this because I've experienced it. I'm saying this based by what the WoW players are saying. So yeah, a lot more people. The servers are way more congested, which is whatever. And yeah, I've met a couple WoW players actually. And they're very polite and they're like, yeah, I came over from there and I've been really enjoying my time here. I'm like, that's awesome. So yeah, it's been nuts. We'll see what happens
cool.
when Endwalker comes out.
I mean, it's
yeah,
not like
awesome.
it's not like Final Fantasy XIV needed the player base or anything, but like
Not really.
maybe they'll
maybe
they'll do more stuff now or something.
Yeah, exactly. They'll do more stuff, and I don't know. Like at least the people who run 14, they've got their toxicity because there's no video game company that doesn't. But the way that they deal with talking to their players is a lot more transparent than other MMOs I've seen. So that's pretty cool. And so people are into it. It's fun. But yeah, so I've been playing that. I saw, please excuse my dumb American tongue, because I know I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, but I did actually see Shang-Chi in theaters last week.
Nice.
I really enjoyed
Nice.
it. I had no idea what to expect. I don't know the comics at all, and I saw very little in the previews. I really enjoyed it. The fight scenes are phenomenal. The story is pretty different for Marvel. Definitely had a bit more of Chinese influences on it. One of their key details that I really liked is a lot, not every scene, but a lot of scenes where it's just people of Chinese descent talking, only in Chinese. Like the opening scene that has a narration, all in Chinese. I believe it's Mandarin Chinese they're speaking. I don't quote me on that.
I'll watch it and let you know. It's very easy to like I can tell the difference of a couple of them.
Yeah,
Not all. There's way too many.
Yeah,
Mandarin and Cantonese are the ones I'm like used to, so I can tell.
Okay, yeah. I thought I read somewhere that was Mandarin, but just correct me.
I won't be but I will definitely be surprised if it's not Mandarin because that's what China speaks. That's what the main official language there is. And if you want to sell shit in China, be sure to choose Mandarin.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it is. But the action's amazing. The acting's very good. And yeah, just little details like that were really, really cool. The two big different fight styles that's kind of the whole point of the story are very, I'm not sure where they come from, but they're very unique and you can see it. And I don't know, I thought, I don't know the full situation with Awkwafina. I've kind of felt I'm a little too white. So Awkwafina's in the film. I think she's funny. I think they do a very good job of putting her in comedic
She's also a rapper or something, right?
She's
a
rapper.
comedian and a rapper, okay.
Yeah. The main reason, there's a whole controversy that she uses a black accent in the way that she talks and does rap. But it's kind of... It's
when
also
you're a
kind of
rapper,
weird.
I guess it's something you do, I suppose,
There's
regardless
that.
of what, yeah.
Also, she grew up in an area that
LA,
a lot of people... Yeah, I don't know if it was LA. I think it might have been in New York, but don't quote me on that. But she grew up in a neighborhood where she probably heard a lot of that growing up. So it's also hard to say where did it come from? But so when the movie was first announced, there was a huge controversy about it. That I've heard seems to have quieted down. I rather like her part. I feel like they don't overuse her comedic stuff. I feel like it's pretty funny, but that's just me. It sounds like they really want to make her super important based on the ending, which kind of surprises me, but that's okay. We're going to see her again, basically, is what's confirmed. But yeah, I don't know. I really, really liked it. It's probably one of my favorite Marvel movies that have come out in a while. It is different. So, I don't know. I give it a shot. I think it was really good.
Oh, did you watch it?
No.
I
intend to. Yeah. Eventually. Probably not in theaters though.
Yeah. The biggest reason why I want to, other than people saying it's good, is because I want to watch Tony Leung. That's he's a fucking legend, and this is his first Hollywood whatever.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He plays the dad, right?
Yeah, the dad.
The dad with the good hair.
Yep. The Mandarin.
The best hair.
The bad guy.
Yeah. He's really good.
So yeah, good casting choice because Tony Leung, number one, he's a legend, and number two, they actually got a Chinese guy to play the Mandarin now instead of the British guy who also played Gandhi.
Yeah.
To be fair, he also wasn't the Mandarin. He was, some weird other thing.
Don't worry,
I thought he had all the 10 rings or whatever in the Iron Man movie, no?
He did.
Which I cannot watch because I heard it was really bad.
He wasn't actually a bad guy.
It was like the Deadpool from the X-Men. That's not Deadpool. You're just calling that thing Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Well,
something
Mandarin,
like that.
Just calling
okay.
Well, and also he wasn't he was a puppet head. That he was literally not the bad guy.
He was an actor.
He was an actor.
He was actually an actor in the movie.
Yeah, which was I think.
No,
I
just find it funny that they use this ethnically ambiguous British actor for anything kinda Asian.
Yeah.
He's just the go-to for a while. But I mostly know him from Gandhi and I don't know, he's one of those, I'm not sure I'm not sure if he's mixed or whatever, but I feel there are definitely some casting choices where it's they're ethnically ambiguous enough but white enough, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Well, not quite the same, but I remember seeing a post where someone was mad at casting Rami Malek as the mummy in the Night at the Museum because he wasn't Egyptian, even though he literally is.
Isn't he Egyptian American or whatever? He's Egyptian.
I don't know his hybrid. He was born in Egypt, I believe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't look it up. I guess I could be wrong.
Skin color.
But yeah,
colorism's a bitch.
He looks too white is the problem, I guess.
Yeah, colorism's a bitch. But yeah, they do bring up that other Mandarin, by the way. It is referenced in a hilarious way. So be prepared. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I think they did a really good job. I just noticed some of the details that they paid attention to. They one thing, not super spoiler, but Shang-Chi's character and Katie's her name, Awkwafina's character, are kind of meant to represent like someone born in China who immigrated to the U.S. and she represents like Asian American. You know, family had immigrated here like 2 generations ago, kind of thing.
Like the Black Panther.
Yeah. So, except they're not against each other. But they do represent that kind of 2 sides. That was interesting.
Talking about Black Panther, I watched all the episodes of What If
What
so
If?
far. 4.
Yeah,
4 episodes.
that's right. Yep. Just saw.
Oh my God. Is saying which character is the focus of the episode a spoiler?
I mean,
I hope
spoiler
not.
alert
That seems
for
crazy.
What
Spoiler
If.
alert, that's a
It'll
person
spoil
in
the
this
first
show.
second of each What If episode.
Yeah, sorry.
There are humanoids in this moving picture thing.
Those Marvel characters.
I would say the weakest one so far for me is the Doctor Strange one.
Really, I liked
Yeah.
that one.
When it comes
I
to
don't think
what
it's the
ifs,
weakest
I
one.
like characters who cannot manipulate time and space.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, and then putting them into
I mean,
situations
it's
where
weak
just,
in the sense that it has Doctor Strange, who's hard to do.
yeah, Doctor Strange is just OP, and I know he's just like that. Like he's just OP.
Yeah.
It was also pretty predictable.
I guess I don't like.
But it wasn't the weakest.
When I like the type of what ifs I like is like those that really go out there and not what if he becomes bad.
Sure.
Like
I thought the Iron Man Captain America one was a little weak.
Oh really? I really like that one
It
because
wasn't
I
that
really
different.
love her.
It wasn't that different from what actually happened.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, it's Captain America, but it's a girl now. She doesn't really do much different that Captain
Okay.
America didn't do.
I
don't know.
I think I really like that
liked
one
as the
because
first
her writing was really good. Like the character is just
Yeah. I liked.
I didn't. I mean, also she had to get saved by Tony Stark in a suit again. She's like, just don't have or not. I mean, old Captain America in a suit.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't. Just leave him. If it's not, don't let him be a character anymore.
I liked it just because I think it was a good first episode, just to show like what to kind of maybe expect. Maybe if it happened later in the series, maybe I would have felt a little differently. But like as a first episode, like it got me pumped up.
yeah.
But I really liked it. Honestly, I think my least favorite one right now, was, weirdly enough, I think it was the most recent one. Did you guys watch the most recent
The
one?
zombie
Zombies?
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't watched the zombie one.
Okay, that one I think is my personal least favorite.
I
Nothing bad about
might
it. But...
agree with you, but it's hard because I'm very what's like a step under lukewarm about What If. Like I really like what ifs. I like the concept of them, but for some reason, the way each episode is structured is just really exacerbating my dislike of Marvel's attempts at comedy.
Oh, okay.
And I think in the zombie one, it's the worst because the situation seems the most dire. Like, you guys are in a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, this guy going, like, Wingardium Leviosa. It's like, it is not the time for jokes. That's fucked up. Or the worst example, a character gets harpooned through the chest and pulled backwards, and they're saying, bang, bang, as they shoot, like, this Iron Man gauntlet with their glove. It's like, you should be screaming in agony right now, not making a fucking stupid joke. Like, it's just outrageous. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not there to be immersed, but, like, that's the kind of thing that makes me almost stop watching it in the moment. It's like, I can't. It's too stupid.
That's fair. I guess I don't have that feeling with Marvel. I guess for me, I kind of appreciate that a little bit. But that's maybe just my mindset is at right now. I'm not saying that every joke lands perfectly, but that to me is just more of, I guess, like, for me with What If, like, I don't really want to take it that seriously. So it's preferable for me to do it that way over possibly, like, making it dramatic and it doesn't feel right. So, but I get it.
I think I want each one to be different. I want some dramatic. I want like the T'Challa as Star-Lord one. That one I want only jokes.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't
I would
want
say
anything
that's my
serious.
favorite one. That was my favorite.
I think that was probably the strongest one so far. Just because of how much they lamp. What I liked about that one too
and also
is
being able to hear like new material from
Chadwick Boseman. Oh yeah, for sure.
Was it his? Can it be considered his like last? Did he record this like his last?
Probably.
Thing? Because I know he did movies after that as well.
I don't know what movies he did, but
Like non-Marvel
this is probably
stuff. I mean.
yeah. I think this is his last Marvel stuff. But yeah, it's what was I gonna say? The reason I like that one is because it's also the most like, to me the best example of what if is about, which is what if these things happen, but also we now learn why they aren't the main timeline, basically, because that's the whole thing, is something always goes wrong at the end, right? No matter, except for kind of the first one. I guess the thing that's wrong at the end is Steve is not alive anymore.
The third or the fourth one, I thought that one kind of ended in a very the one with people dying, the Avengers dying, basically.
I mean, the Avengers are dead. So when Thanos comes, there's nothing to...
They're being killed one at a time.
I know.
Is the whole point of the episode. So that episode, I'm saying, ends in a very different way, I think.
Oh. I guess what I'm trying...
Something doesn't go wrong.
I might be misunderstanding you. What do you mean it doesn't go wrong?
That could be yours. You said every episode in What If... It's like this goes wrong.
Oh.
This is why it couldn't have happened. And I didn't get that sense with that one.
Well, I guess to me, with what's going to happen next, they're kind of screwed. The Earth is. I guess that's what I mean. It's like the Earth is kind of screwed at the end.
Oh, I thought you meant like something goes wrong in the sense like this is why it's not What If.
No, I'm saying... I
misinterpreted you.
Sorry. What I mean is what, like, so you guys all watch Loki or no?
The series.
Okay. Series.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is now there's a bunch of timelines, right? The main timeline is no longer kept. Spoiler alert. I should have just said that. So What If to me is, okay, now we get to see those branching timelines, but we also see why they weren't like the good time, like why the world can't be saved, basically, in those timelines.
So like why the whole like only one timeline was supposed to be like the...
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yep, that's to me like
timeline or whatever.
Yeah, that's whether you feel that's right or not. That's to me like what if kind of represents. Because at the end of them, they always make, except really the only one that's a little confusing, I would argue, is the first one. I guess it's bad because Steven's gone, but like otherwise, there's no we don't really know. I think there's something wrong with the Tesseract, but anyway. But all the other ones, it's very obvious, such as the T'Challa one. It's very obvious why the Earth is in danger, imminent danger, if it happened this way, despite the fact that it seemed to solve a lot of problems. So that's a very roundabout way to say that's why I like the T'Challa episode.
What all this what if, because I've always liked the concept of what if. I heard that there's a new What If Spider-Man coming out, and it's not a one issue, it's a 5-issue mini-series, What If Spider-Man. And basically it's like the comics. I'm not sure if they're making this into whatever.
Oh, comics.
It's like super new, like just I think came out this year or whatever.
A lot of What Ifs are like a little 6-issue mini-series.
Okay. So like basically in this one, Spider-Man gets the symbiote, somebody kills Aunt May, and he doesn't release the symbiote, it just kills villains now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's
my kind of thing.
That's
you should look up basically almost for every Marvel character there's like a so-and-so kills the Marvel universe like miniseries. Like what if the Punisher tried to kill everybody? Here's how he would do it with a nuke. What?
Most popular one is Punisher, I think. That's the one I hear the most about.
Plausible.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I like the Invisible Woman Sue Storm one a lot.
Oh, she's OP.
She can go invisible. Yeah. She's indestructible. She can make tiny force fields at will inside people and just expand them. Like she's just wrecks everybody.
Yeah. I'll probably look up arcs and stuff too. I'm not gonna bother following it.
So one thing that was weird about one of the episodes too is they show scenes from the Hulk movie and they replace Ed Norton Bruce Banner with Mark Ruffalo Bruce Banner, which I thought was a little weird.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess it's canon.
They did no choice.
I know.
It was just weird.
It was a little strange. I thought it was kind of funny to be like, oh, I guess that's canon now. I didn't know if it was even canon still. So
I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure. So all right, cool.
So I watched Black Widow. I couldn't get a word out of my mouth. Yeah. I enjoyed it, really.
I enjoyed it too.
I love the dynamics between the two sisters and the family. But especially the two sisters. I would love to see more. I know we were going to see more of Yelena. Yeah. I love her.
I'm excited to see.
I kind of want to rewatch it, actually. It's just really good. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Action scenes are really cool, especially because there's no powers. Boom, boom, boom. And
they're deadly too. Like your bones hurt.
But yeah, it's I just really love the whole dynamic between the two, the relationship, the characters. Yeah, it's just really
it's good.
well written. I had to Google where was this in the timeline because I just got confused a little bit.
Yeah. It takes.
It's supposed to come out much earlier.
Yeah, it's supposed to come much earlier. It takes place after Civil War.
The post-credit scene is where we were supposed to see her for the first time.
Got
Yes.
it.
But then we
That's what I
saw
figured.
her first in the
but then
U.S. agent because...
Yeah. That's what I figured too, because there was so much we were like, who? Because there so little was revealed about who she was there, and I was like, ugh, we were probably supposed to see this first.
The U.S. agent one, I thought she was a like a silent branch that kills people, part of the U.S. government kind of thing. I guess not. Now I'm not really sure what she is, to be honest.
Well,
I didn't bother googling her.
A lot of people think she's Madam Hydra. I think she's called. I don't know that much of what that means.
That's what I've heard too.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I guess the name that she has is the canon name to Madam Hydra. So I don't know if that means Hydra's coming back. I didn't do that much more research than that. I have other people that do, and they're like, oh, it's Madam Hydra.
I like Yelena, and I hope it's one of those like, oh, she didn't know who she was working for kind of thing.
Me too.
I really like that. I don't want it to be the bad guy.
Yeah, I hope she meets the U.S. agent and punches him in the face.
Oh, yes, please.
But
that would be
I
nice.
know. I probably won't have... It sounds like they want to give him a freaking
I would like if
arc,
U.S. agent continued being... actually becomes a Hydra agent.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think that's kind of on point.
But we'll see what they decide to do. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. I loved Black Widow for what it was. I think I like Shang-Chi more as far as like Marvel movies go.
I hear Shang-Chi is really is getting a lot of good reviews.
I really like it. We'll see.
And people basically say the origin story is like different compared to like a lot of other Marvel stories. I'm not really sure.
To me, it's different.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. I think part of it was it sounded like I think they had Chinese people actually like help write the story and direct it and stuff like that, but I don't remember who did it. And it just kind of shows. And also, it's not a pure origin story. Like, the biggest thing, kind of a spoiler, we're not gonna see, like, Shang-Chi, like, train necessarily. Well, he does a little bit, but not, like, initially, if that makes sense, based on his background. So we don't need to watch him get his powers.
Was the story from the comics not usable? Was it too problematic or something?
Probably.
That they had to write?
It's from what I understand, probably. Yeah. Like, the 10 rings, for instance, spoiler alert, they're not finger rings. They're rings that go on your arms that you use. It's a really cool power, but...
There's a character like that in Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
I think it's like a style.
Yeah, somebody
got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of old
metal
Kung Fu
arm,
movies
lead
like
fist,
that.
or
a lot of like the rings on the forearms, and
got it.
Somebody actually photoshopped like the Shang-Chi like title on the Kung Fu Hustle guy, and also I've been
awesome.
seeing a lot of apparently Simu Liu, the Shang-Chi main actor.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stock photo shoots like really early on in his career. He said like, I got $100
That's
for the
hilarious.
And people are just looking for them now. And he actually retweeted like, I hate this. And people are like photoshopping like him wearing the rings and him wearing his like suit. It's just funny.
They're so funny. To be fair, he started it.
Yeah.
He made a tweet where he took one of the stock photos where it's him and a bunch of people like looking and smiling at a computer screen, and his caption was like, me laughing at people who said Shang-Chi would flop.
Okay.
And then stock photo was like, hey, congratulations, if acting doesn't work out for you, can come back to us. And he's like, you guys only paid me $100 and used my photos over and over again. Can we talk about that? So he has no chill, and I love it.
If you like Simu Liu in Shang-Chi, I would recommend watching Kim's Convenience.
I did hear that. I did hear that was really good with him.
It is very good, especially the first 2-3 seasons, and then after that, it just started going like, especially the last season, so like not, the last season was not, what's the word, satisfying at all. Not satisfying at all. Okay. They had to rush a lot of things, and a lot of people were leaving and all that. So,
it stinks.
But yeah.
That's all really. I think I did.
For what'd you play?
I played
Aliens Fire Team
Elite. It's a third-person shooter, kind of like
Oh, it's
Left 4
third
Dead.
person.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I thought it was first person for some reason.
It's over the shoulder.
Is
So
it cover based?
class-based. Not really. You can take cover behind things, but there's only one enemy type that's really useful.
Oh,
at
like
all.
the acid
you fight,
shooter
like,
kind of thing.
Synths, the robots with guns,
Of course,
then
that's
you might
robots
want
with
to take
guns.
cover. But against aliens, because the alien AI really tries to attack you from all angles at once.
Oh, okay.
So if you just get behind
actually
cover,
pretty cool.
you're usually just like not mobile enough. It's too hard. The AI is pretty good. The enemy AI is pretty good. The ally AI, if you are not with human people, is complete garbage,
Yeah.
and the game's basically unplayable
Oh my god.
if you try to
That
play with
sucks.
AI, which is a problem because I don't think there's enough like when I solo queue, like I don't always find people, so I just quit and just keep requeuing until I get people, which is not good. I think right now the game's $40. There's not a lot of content to it. Like you can beat the story in less than 10 probably. That means like the loop is built theoretically around playing the same levels over and over again to like your weapons have levels and your class has levels, and the unlock stuff is pretty cool, but the levels themselves are not random enough, I think, to make replaying them super cool.
So they do kind of
They
randomize a little bit.
try. There's a little bit of randomization, and there's this mechanic that you can opt into or not deal with, where people will submit like these cards, and they'll do a thing like one of your 2 guns is randomly disabled for the whole mission, but you get like double money and experience.
Oh, okay. So like difficulty modifiers.
But
kind
it
of thing.
sucks too. They're difficulty modifiers. Like they're good. I mean, some of them are very nice, and I like the concept. But like one time, I queued with a random person, and he put a card that says, like you don't have any guns. Like you just have your sidearm, which is like the weapon with infinite ammo you have when you're completely out of regular ammo. It's worthless. You only have that, and like you have like 25% of your max life.
That sounds
And just,
difficult
like,
as fuck.
yeah, but we just died in the first like 2 minutes. Like what was the
what
point?
was the reward? Was it?
I think it's like quadruple everything
Okay.
basically.
Doesn't sound worth it if you can't finish the level.
It was stupid. I mean, I
if you
think
die,
it'd
do
be
you
fun if
keep
you were
anything
playing
that you
with.
get? Like the experience and stuff.
You get a little bit of stuff, and every mission, I think, has only one. I've only never seen more than one. Hidden cache, which gives you a weapons mod, a decal, and maybe like a skin for your weapon. It gives you 3 things. Only one of which is actually useful. And if you find that before dying, then you do keep that.
Okay.
But just yesterday, I think it was, they already came out with their first free DLCs that they've announced that are going to come, and that added a whole a 6th playable class, which is pretty cool. But I just want more levels is all I want. I mean, the game's really good. I have no real complaints about the game, other than that it's maybe a little overpriced for what it is. Maybe. Well, maybe once all the DLC comes out, maybe it'll feel better. Hard
And
to say.
if they
for
fix
sure,
the
until we see what
AI,
it
but
is.
AI sounds like something most developers don't fix. Doesn't sound easy to fix. Like it's not an.
I guess not.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
thought
sure
of
to
getting
do
it
that.
just to
I've
play,
heard the
like,
AI is too strong in easy difficulties. I haven't
Oh,
tried.
okay.
I don't know if that just means the easy difficulties are easy, or if the easy difficulty actually makes the AI stronger. Because if the difficulty does affect the AI's intelligence, then they have the knobs to tweak it.
And I'm assuming different difficulty
Theoretically.
gives you different modifiers for rewards, that kind of thing.
I'd assume so too. I've only done things on normal. I haven't messed with it. Like, the rewards aren't super compelling. Like it's kind of just for bragging rights, I guess.
Seems like a
the level up system is pretty.
sorry, just interesting that like Aliens is using cards to like modify levels, and also like the Back 4 Blood, which is the Left 4 Dead people making that new Left 4 Dead style game, also uses that, I believe.
That is interesting. And then, like, I think my favorite thing about the game, because I haven't seen it in too many other games, is so your upgrade mechanic is it's almost like a Resident Evil inventory thing. You have like a grid of squares, and you have upgrades that are different shapes. and you just sort of try to fit them into the grid to maximize the upgrades you want, and certain things modify other things. And so as you level up your class, you unlock sections of the grid. So I think that is pretty fun. It makes you make some interesting choices. So I like that a lot, actually. And the guns feel good. The guns are cool. They sound really good. They sound like they're from the Alien movies. So I mean, if you have a chance to play it for cheap,
can you
do
get
it.
into like
It's
those
on sale.
suits and stuff?
You can't get in the hub in between missions. There is one of those things, but you can't get into it. The power loaders or whatever. But the Demolisher class does have one of the like gimbal robot armed heavy guns. That
I don't know why. I just
Aliens,
like
which is pretty cool.
I just really like that aesthetic where the mech or the power suit is not fully armored. It's just like pipes. It's just I just kind of like that.
Like an exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton
Yeah.
things. I just really like that aesthetic, like that style of armor.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The skins are pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's a very cool game. But
You make me want to get it now, honestly. But
I mean, we could play it together.
But that's the thing. I'm
but
not sure when you're gonna get bored of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can. If you only played it with me, and you didn't play it solo, then I would say don't get it. But if you're gonna play it on your own, and I join you occasionally, then do it. Let's see. So my total playtime is 15 hours, and I think I've played the equivalent of the whole campaign twice. So that's not a lot of content.
Yeah, it's not a lot of content.
But I'm also not max level on anything. But I don't have an incentive to be max level. So I don't know. So I played that. Still playing Satisfactory. New update for that coming pretty soon, but I don't think it really has anything I care about. I think it's mostly just it's got cool stuff. Nothing. It's not like new milestones and new tech. It's just like, oh hey, you can build stairs better, and there's new kinds of walls. Like kind of mostly aesthetic stuff. Yeah, I think that's it gameplay wise. It's been a while since I've played Monster Hunter Stories. It's still fine, but I play it for long. Like I just play it for like several hours on a Saturday, like once a month. Basically, is how that ends up happening. In terms of watching things, I've been watching a good show called Reservation Dogs about 4 kids living on like a Native American reservation, and they're kind of low key criminals trying to get out. But it's directed by Taika Waititi.
Okay.
And it's
where is it based?
It's good.
The US?
It's good. I'm liking it.
Okay.
Yeah, US. Like New Mexico or Texas or something.
You got me at Taika Waititi.
I'm also
honestly.
watching. Yeah. Well, also Taika Waititi. New season of What We Do in the Shadows is out. Season 3. That's
just
been
one of those
really good so
need to
far.
watch. God damn it! So many things.
Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that Cthulhu series.
Well, Lovecraft
that
Country.
one. I kind of want to watch that one.
That's good. Apparently, so the main character of Lovecraft Country is like, he plays the revealed character at the end of Loki, and I guess he was saying,
that's
the same
cool.
guy. Yeah. Oh, also, man, what's his name? The actor who plays this guy's dad in Lovecraft Country, who you wouldn't know, but he's also Omar in The Wire. He just died this week. He's only like 57
yeah,
or 50.
I saw
He's in his
that.
50s.
Yeah.
Way too early. I loved him. He was great. Yeah, Lovecraft Country is good. So yeah, I'm watching those things, and that's pretty much it. I'm keeping up to date on Ted Lasso. Schmigadoon ended after only 6 episodes, which was a way shorter than I thought it would be. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I watched a movie from the 90s that called Joe versus the Volcano, which I'm super kind of obsessed with now. So it's a huge bomb when it came out. It stars Tom Hanks as a character named Joe Banks, and it stars Meg Ryan, and she plays 3 different characters throughout the film. It's kind of a rom-com, but not really. It's really kind of like this surreal, introspection of what you do when you. So the premise is Tom Hanks hates his job. He gets diagnosed with a terminal disease, you have 5 months to live. There's no symptoms. So you're just going to die in 5 months, basically. Immediately afterwards, a businessman approaches him and says, hey, I need somebody to voluntarily throw themselves into a volcano. I'll make your last 5 months pretty great if you do that. And so he does. And that's the movie.
Doesn't
it's kinda
sound like a
weird,
90s
but-
movie, honestly.
No, I think that's why it bombed. Is because people are like, we're gonna go for the rom-com, and it's not a
It
rom-com.
sounds like a late 2000s or early 2010s movie, more like. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well,
because
the movie changes genres like 3 times. Like the first third of the movie is a bit like Brazil, where it's like this weird kind of like somewhat Tim Burton-y, surreal, like just like here's what corporate America's like. And then the middle third is kind of just like fun on a boat. It's just kind of him on a boat, just having silly antics. It's a Castaway actually, in terms of. And then the last third is, I don't know, like Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen. It's the last third's problematic because it has like these Polynesian people who are supposed to be descendants from Jewish people. So this weird like cultural mashup that I don't think offends both people. Probably it doesn't work out. But yeah, like the chieftain's played by Abe Vigoda, and his like sidekick is played by Nathan Lane, who I both like, but it's just you could cut that whole scene pretty much. The only important part is the volcano.
Number one,
at the end.
I did not know Meg Ryan acted in non-rom-coms. And
I mean, I think she probably thought this was a rom-com. But she's great. She makes 3 very different, strong decisions with each of the characters, and it's I think it's just as fun to watch her go kind of hammy on these roles.
and the only 90s movie that I know with the word Joe in it is Joe's Apartment. I watched that so many times as a kid.
I know Mighty Joe Young. Is that 90s? Or like, is that early 2000s? Feels like late 90s, but I don't know. This Joe Dirt? I think that's early 2000s as well, though.
So yeah, Joe's Apartment is the one where the cockroaches can
if
talk.
you want to hear... I don't even
Really?
know.
Oh my
I haven't
God.
seen... I know these movies exist. I haven't seen them.
Okay, that one you need to watch. It's like stupid, but it's kind of funny sometimes.
I was just listening to a podcast about it. I was like, okay, maybe I should check this out, because it seems fascinatingly dumb.
it's really stupid.
If you want to hear me talk more about Joe versus the volcano, it's on my friend's podcast, Shut Up, I Love It, where I talked about it for 45 minutes.
I mean, shut up, I love it, I guess, right?
The premise of the podcast is people go on to defend things they love that aren't loved by most of the rest of society.
That's funny. My wife could be on that show.
Although everybody, weirdly, I don't know that... this is my 3rd time on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know that Joe versus the Volcano is the most appropriate choice, because everybody I've talked to who has seen the film likes it. It's just that it was a huge bomb
When it first came out.
when it first launched. That is why it's weird. Yeah. My first 2 episodes, I did Willow, because everyone I know who's seen Willow doesn't like it, pretty much, even though I love it. And the second movie was Gentlemen Broncos, which is a bizarre movie from the creators of Napoleon Dynamite.
Huh. Oh, jeez.
It's a movie with a lot of problems. I think all of the negative points about Gentlemen Broncos are fair and accurate, and I can't refute them. But people overlook the good bits. The good bits are so good, because it stars like the 2 stars are like Jermaine Clement and Sam Rockwell. And so Sam Rockwell, just like, they cut to like this sci-fi story, and he's just in it like all the time, just doing weird Sam Rockwell stuff. And Jermaine Clement plays like, he's basically doing an Alan Rickman impression the whole time. Like, when I'm writing a book about trolls, I like to take a humdrum name and add the word "inus" to the end, like Traginus, or... And it's just like, oh my god, there's a lot of poo-poo humor in this movie, but the acting is so funny. So I think that's pretty much everything I've been doing. I've been busy with other stuff, like improv stuff, so I haven't actually had time to do as much as I normally do in a month.
So yeah, there's actually quite a bit of news this time, because a lot of like there was
True.
Gamescom and then that PlayStation showcase thing. But just really quickly going through like new releases. There's a game called Webbed, where you play a little cute little tiny dancing spider. I have severe arachnophobia, and like this spider is really cute, honestly. So and it's super cool. Like you can just build your webs to create platforms for you to jump on, and like I think it's like a puzzle platformer where you need to bring things to other places. It's really cute looking, and it's really really interesting. Life is Strange: True Colors is out, which
Oh wow, I forgot that was out.
I saw
That
that.
just kind of
Haven't
came out of nowhere. I mean, I knew it was coming
Yeah,
out, but I
I-
didn't know it was
Yeah.
like now.
I didn't know it was this soon. Yikes. Okay, I gotta get on that. Oops.
The new Tales game is also out. A lot of people are calling it the best Tales game so far. Tales of Arise.
Which Tales?
Tales of
Wow.
Arise.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
There's also a new CRPG, Encased, a sci-fi post-apocalyptic RPG, which is getting also a lot of good reviews. There's another game called Lost in Random. It's one of those like indie games that went through like the EA, EA. Like some of these big companies have like programs for indie games to get published by them. So it's one of those.
Right.
This one is specifically by EA, and it's like a lot of randomness. I think one of the characters is like an actual dice with just like arms and legs. It's just kind of funny. An action adventure game. A new Pathfinder RPG is out. Breath of the Righteous. Made by the same people who made the previous one, Pathfinder Kingmaker. And last one that I found interesting is a game called Lake, which looks like a walking simulator, but it's really pretty. Has like a really nice look to it.
Nice aesthetic.
Yeah. You play a woman taking a break from her big city career to deliver mail in her hometown.
Huh.
So like hometown is like a really nice, with giant
Yeah.
lake and all that. The game looks pretty. It's on my wish list with all my hundreds of other games on my wish list.
So bad.
Have you heard of a game called The Longing?
That sounds familiar.
Can't say I have.
Isn't that the one with like
It
4,000 days or something? Is that the one?
400 days. You're supposed to just wait for 400 days of real
Yeah.
time.
What?
Yeah.
I think it seems real
It's
time.
real time, yeah.
What's the point?
I mean, there's stuff to do in the game.
You're
Okay.
you're
I don't
waiting
know. I
for
don't- I
the
don't really know,
awakening
though.
of your king, and that will take 400 days.
That's over a year.
Like,
It's
I have
one
to
of those,
assume there's things in game that make time pass,
It's
I
one of
hope.
those like you can call experimental games, and it's like
Okay.
there's a lot of video essays,
Sure.
and articles about it, talking about. I would suggest watching those or reading that before playing it, if you don't know what
Fair
you're
enough.
getting into.
Yeah.
Let's watch a Let's Play.
Can you
400
imagine?
day let's play. Gosh.
I wonder if I could run this game in like a virtual box.
Oh my
and, like,
gosh,
change the
and
clock
then
time
just-
so
yeah.
it passes faster.
Probably. That's nuts.
Depends on what clock it uses.
Now
yeah.
I'm curious. I don't know if I'm 400 days curious, but I'm curious.
Just Google the longing end. Or, yeah,
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if there's
the longing
multiple?
playthrough.
Can you imagine
Look to
there's-
the last episode.
Can you imagine if there's multiple ends, and in order to find them all, you have to
Oh,
play
God.
a 400 days?
Forget it.
But hey, man, experimental games, I'm all about it.
It does say choose your own adventure. Like the tags on Steam are walking simulator and choose your own adventure. And choose your own adventure to me often implies branches that you want to replay for.
Yeah,
Maybe
but it
in
could
this one,
be
like, choose to wait or not to wait.
yeah. It could also be branches that come to a point. I mean, it's like similar paths that lead to a similar end. That's how a lot of
Yeah.
those games. That's how a lot of those Telltale games do
They're
it.
lies. Yeah. False choices, basically.
So yeah, let's start with a couple of smaller ones first. CD Projekt, that company that's making a lot of money from all their AAA. Yeah, they just opened
You
a
know.
Kickstarter because reasons.
Of course they did.
Yeah. So
It's for the new Witcher project, right?
the Witcher manga. Yeah.
Manga, got it.
So yeah, apparently
Damn
they
it.
they're using. Yeah, that's stupid. Just wanted to
All right.
mention that because I'm starting to get pissed.
Did you end up watching the Witcher movie?
Oh yeah, I did. It was great. I loved it.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Movie?
Yeah,
Or
there was
TV series.
It was an
Animated
animated movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
It looked kind of like
Yep.
Castlevania.
Oh,
The
okay.
animated Canada.
It's on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, Netflix.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's really good.
Must have missed that one.
Basically, you follow
Decent, it's worth the time.
Vesemir, the one that taught Geralt when he was younger, like Vesemir when he was young. and the animation is amazing. Like a lot of gore and all that, like Castlevania. So I expect that.
Yeah.
Story is interesting. Animation is amazing. I would say definitely though. I think it would have been better as like a 6-episode mini-series kind of thing, because I feel like there was way more stuff they wanted to put in. I mean, they kind of crammed a lot of things in that hour 20 minutes or however long it was. So I think could have been better as a 6-episode mini-series, which would have given them like an extra 40 minutes, something like that. But you know, still a really good watch. I'll be interested to see if there's more coming. Not really sure if there is. Witcher Season 2 is coming out next year, right?
Soonish, yeah.
Soonish.
Next year, probably.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it.
So the next thing is a Fortnite thing. So you know how they use Fortnite for these like experiences and like concerts and shit?
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to feel about this. I mean, it's not my country or my history or whatever, but I just find this interesting. They decided to... Wait, when is this? Is it already over? Let me see if there's a date. Or maybe you
Is
guys
this
know.
MLK Day?
Yeah.
I would know.
They want to
MLK
do
Day
like-
is in January.
Okay, they want to do an event to celebrate MLK.
Yep.
And...
Because MLK Day is the 17th
Yeah,
of January.
so an immersive journey that allows players to witness Dr. Martin Luther King's full I Have a Dream speech in Fortnite. In your full Fortnite getup.
Yeah.
And somebody made a very interesting observation that they also are doing something with DC right now. And that includes, when they do something with these franchises, you get costumes and like cosmetic items and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It includes Catwoman's whip. That's all I'm just gonna say.
Boy.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So
I was thinking about this. I don't think whips would be cool anymore. I was like Indiana Jones. Like, man, I guess you can't use a whip anymore. Like, whips are kind of done.
The thing you're talking about, I at first wasn't sure how to feel. However, it's apparently being headed by two famous African American like historians, creators.
Oh, I
So this
hope they
isn't-
got help with
Yeah.
this.
Well, no, I'm not saying help. I'm saying
like,
leading.
Can you imagine Tim
Yeah,
Sweeney
like-
did it?
I know, but like that's my thing is like, because I at first wasn't sure how to feel about it either, but it's people like heading the project, and I guess the whole idea is they want to do more of this kind of stuff, more of like historical experiences, because Fortnite is mostly played by children.
Kids, yeah.
So I think this is kind of an experiment to see if they can maybe do some more. I also heard that they are going to disable emotes
Okay, that's
during
something.
this.
That's smart.
So maybe the Catwoman whip thing won't be an issue.
I just find it is definitely interesting to have what is a game platform and then like
Yep.
doing non-game
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah, and someone
It's
else.
like it's trying to do, what was the video game? Ready Player One. It's like it has all the crossover stuff there.
Yeah.
Now it's trying to do like, you go to school in Fortnite.
Yeah.
You go to concerts in Fortnite. and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. The sad thing is, as someone mentioned, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Is in some states in the United States, this might be the only real exposure that some children might get to Black history.
gosh.
Yeah, right. So we'll see how this goes. Apparently,
I wonder if this was like a direct
maybe.
like counter or like direct response to that.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long they've been planning it for.
Actually, is Fortnite if you're below 13, are you allowed to play Fortnite?
I mean, I know kids like that are way
No,
younger than 13.
I mean
that play
that.
it, so.
Technically, you can just cheat
But
the
like
system.
the T in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
service.
I
actually
like
don't-
you're acknowledging you're not.
I don't know.
Kind of wonder about that, but whatever. It doesn't really matter because you can cheat the system. But I'm just wondering, like, if in their
Yeah.
TOS, do they actually?
Yeah, apparently, the
Theoretically, yeah.
TOS does say at least 13.
Okay, because I know 13 is a
Okay,
cutoff for a lot of
interesting.
like.
Yeah. It's so they can get away with doing weird stuff, such as, I mean, Fortnite basically has a... Well, no, Fortnite doesn't have a loot box system. I forgot. They do not.
They
so
don't?
Fortnite's actually... They do not.
Oh.
They make their money based on skins.
And
And
that's,
emotes.
and that is not loot boxes. That is you just buy straight up. Oh, but you do have to convert your money to Fortnite bucks or whatever,
You do.
right?
Oh,
V-Bucks.
yeah. V-Bucks. Yep, they do have a V-Bucks system, so that's still, sketchy. But yeah, kids, that's part of the reason I think that, like, families and kids get so sucked into it, because they want all the skins. Apparently, I don't know how true this is. This is told to me by children. But apparently there is, like, what do they call them? There's apparently a default. There's apparently kind of a mean term when you say to someone when they have like a default skin and they haven't bought like a special skin. I think they call them like, I don't know how true it is because I work with kids that are a little hypersensitive to these kinds of things.
I 100% believe it.
I mean,
but
kids
yeah,
are
like
assholes. They do it in school. I'm sure they would do it in Fortnite.
So yeah, you're a default, meaning like you don't have a special skin that you're wearing one of the default skins.
The whole point of skins is to enforce elitism. That's like the whole,
exactly.
it's purely a status symbol.
And make you feel like, lesser in whatever way and then force you to buy. There is definitely a psychological
Yeah.
Didn't we cover a story like 5 years ago about how Overwatch was trying to like pair players in a way that would make them feel like oh, I saw that thing that guy did, I want to buy that, and so they would.
Yeah,
like they had like some sort of AI thing that was creating their matching based off of that.
Oh geez,
information.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fortnite
it's just But that's why Fortnite's kind of in the clear for a lot of these things. Not that Fortnite is what it is, but I have to say they at least know their audience. And a lot, I'm not saying they're great, but because kids still will, if you're not careful, they will spend hundreds of dollars on this stuff. But, compared to other games with loot boxes, it's at least a little more controllable. So, I don't know. I gotta give them credit. They know their audience. They're playing to it. So, but yeah, this experience is gonna be interesting. I'll be curious if they do more after this.
And next one is... Yeah, let's get all the shitty stuff out first.
That's fair.
Okay.
The Tripwire Interactive. So the company that made Maneater, Killing Floor 2.
Okay, I didn't play those games. I know of them.
Oh, I did hear this story.
President, one of the founders, what's his name? John Gibson.
I don't remember.
On Twitter, he tweeted support for
it's the Texas
the
abortion ban.
Texas.
Supporting
the abortion law in Texas, the new one that just came out.
Hashtag U.S. Supreme Court, I don't know why they have to hashtag that, affirming that Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. As an entertainer, I don't get political often. People's bodies should not be political. Yeah, there's so many vocal peers on the other side of this issue. I felt it was important to go on the record as a pro-life game developer. And
now he's out.
So important.
And to be clear, I would say he's out, but I'm pretty sure I'm not sure what kind of out it is. I'm not sure if he's just like out as in no longer public facing.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know.
And
I thought he was out, but
can you really fire like a co-founder? I'm not sure how these things work. I'm not a...
Yes, you can. Because I know that's because I worked at a company where he fired the co-founder, and it was a big deal.
But they get like a huge severance package, I'm sure, right? They usually do. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Golden
parachute.
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know with how profits work, but with like nonprofits, there's a board of directors usually. I don't know if that's the case here, where they could totally fire.
I'm sure they do have a board of directors with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's a weird position.
So maybe I'm not sure if future sales is something he's gonna get profit off, but even if he's out, I'm sure he got like a huge severance package.
I'm sure.
All of this wasn't mentioned.
Yeah, they're gonna probably wait a good long while before they announce another game.
I love some of the replies. So this one of the replies to the statement regarding him stepping down is he claims to be pro-life but just got terminated. Curious. That's just.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's a thing. A lot of contractors wanted to stop working with them too, and they actually did.
Yeah, they pulled out
before the whole stepping down thing. So I'm not sure if those contractors are gonna be working with them again. Yeah, so they're the people who made Maneater and Killing Floor. that's a thing, I guess.
I'm not familiar with Maneater. I think I played Killing Floor once on a free weekend or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we played
I-
together
Fine,
Killing
I
Floor
guess.
2. What else? So the next two things are like giant game expos, I guess. Gamescom 2021, that's the giant European one, I believe. Pretty sure that one's
And PAX.
happening in Germany. I did not know PAX was a thing right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised it happened. It did.
It did happen. Wasn't there like nobody there? I thought I saw pictures
Probably.
of it and
Oh,
it was
okay.
like dead, which is crazy because I actually did, against my better judgment, I did go to a con. Mostly it's just to meet up with friends I haven't seen in a while, and I was double masking and everything, but it was crowded. It was kind of creepy. I'm okay. Obviously, it's been like 4 weeks since then. But whew, scary. And so yeah, but PAX apparently was just empty. At least the pictures I saw showed that, which genuinely surprised me. But hey, man, I don't know. Not a con I go to.
With Gamescom, there were a couple of really interesting stuff. There was quite a lot, but I would say the interesting things were a new Saints Row was announced, and looks like it's going to be a reboot. Cult of the Lamb, that's a indie game published by Devolver Digital. It looks really good. Look that up.
Cult.
Another one is, this one's kind of weird. It's called Doke V. I'm not sure if it's Doke V or Doke 5. But it's like a MMO open world Pokemon collecting kind of game by a Korean MMO developer. Yeah, had to sneeze there. So yeah, and it has this weird like conflicting aesthetics to it, because there's like a city, you're like in a city thing, but also the city kind of looks like modern day, but then there's also all these like monsters. It's just kind of weird looking, but people are excited for it because, you know, giant MMO open world monster collecting. So, and the one that I'm most excited about is Marvel's Midnight Suns. That one looks really interesting. So it's made by Firaxis, the XCOM people. So it's gonna be a strategy game, and apparently it's not gonna be completely like XCOM. It's gonna be strategy and with some relationship building, apparently, like Fire Emblem. So I'm interested.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. So
I have a type.
and it has like Ghost Rider, Blade, so not just your freaking Star-Lord and shit. There's Wolverine, so it's like it's like a Marvel Comics kind of game, not like an MCU game.
Are you saying I can kiss Wolverine on the mouth?
That I'm not sure, but you do play like a undead warrior kind of thing. Like you bring her back to life because her mom is wrecking shit or something, like something like that.
All right.
It's really interesting. So yeah, there's also like a card-based system in it. I'm not super hard on card-based stuff, but if I get to bang Wolverine,
I'll let it slide.
yeah. So those were the interesting things from Gamescom, I think. A lot of the others were like things we've already seen.
Okay, yeah.
They just keep releasing freaking new videos for those. For the PlayStation one,
There's some big announcements there.
First Koto is getting remade, which is I did
Yes.
not see that
yeah.
coming.
Woo! Yeah, I didn't think I'd see that in my lifetime. So, I mean, obviously, there's literally nothing that
Yeah,
they've said about it, but I'm definitely curious. I'd love to see a remake and what they do with it, with more of a modern sensibility of gameplay.
I wonder
so
if
I'm
it's still going to be
here for it.
turn-based or like more actiony.
I wonder if it.
Yeah,
to
I'm
me,
really curious.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna make it more like Mass Effect. I would be fine with that personally.
Probably.
I'd be pretty cool if it's more of a Mass Effect, but I don't know. Maybe they'll make it more like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
I didn't play it, but I saw it.
Yeah,
so
sort of like a
they could do
mix.
something like that. Yeah,
if
system.
they're gonna go with a mix, I just hope that they actually do it like not like Final Fantasy 15 had like a weird thing. I just could not get a feel to the combat. It was
Yeah.
I can't really explain it. I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but it's just like I feel like it felt like they couldn't commit. They wanted to do turn-based and action, but they couldn't commit to either one, and they kind of just did a really weird mix of it, and it's just like, what the? It just felt weird. I just could not get into the combat at all.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like
It
that.
also-
Just go with
yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
That's
Mass Effect would be good. They also might do more like a Fallen Jedi Order, which just was almost more of a Soulsian-esque kind of gameplay. So that could probably be interesting too. I hope they go more of the Mass Effect route. I'm weird. I like to be able to pause and actually choose what I'm gonna do
And
personally. But
I don't want to just play all action games, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like my turn-based stuff too.
yeah, but we'll see. But I could see them doing more Jedi Fallen Order kind of style, which is fine.
The interesting
yeah.
thing is the company that is in charge of this remake, as far as I'm aware, is Esper. And Esper are the ones that made the remasters of all the old like BioWare games. Like KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. Yeah. So I think this is
Okay,
their
that's
first
pretty cool.
like proper AAA game budget thing, maybe.
Got it.
So because it is
That's
a
pretty
remake.
cool.
It is a remake.
Yeah, it's a remake. It's not a remaster. It's a remake. So it's gonna be
yeah.
new.
So they've always
I'm
been
kind of
known for like porting games and all that.
Interesting. Huh. All right. I'm just excited to have an actual character creation screen instead of the old like skin color attached to hair options.
Can I be like an
So,
old man gatekeeper kind of a little bit? I wonder how many people went and see, oh my god, is that like Kylo Ren when he's younger with that mask?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Yeah.
whatever.
Oh my gosh.
But I can't wait to
Whatever.
go back to that like before the movies universe. That
Yeah.
KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2
Old
is
Republic.
just something special.
Oh yeah.
One thing I really like about Alien's Fire Team is the character creation. Everything's independent. Like you can choose your voice separately from your gender, separately
that's
from your
cool.
hair, separately from your face. Everything's just completely independent.
Wow.
I like it.
They didn't. That's the one thing. Freaking. What's the CD Projekt Red game everyone made fun of?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. They did it better than Cyberpunk.
Can we just pretend that
man.
doesn't exist?
Yep.
That's cool though. I hope. See, I'm actually really mad. I normally play cis women in games, so it doesn't directly affect me, but it affects a lot of people. Like, I don't know how hard it is to just deconnect your voice from your pronouns. Like, why?
It's not.
It's not that
From
hard.
pronouns.
You
You mean like if you have like? Oh, I guess. Sorry, I thought you meant like if the character was saying pronouns.
No.
That'd be hard.
How
But
other people
I see what you mean.
refer to
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, how other people refer to you
Have you
versus
not
your
heard,
voice.
like, men with effeminate voices or like women with masculine
Women
voices?
with
Like, that's
deeper
a thing.
voices.
It's just
Yeah.
that's. Maybe you should go out and like just
Do something.
and not listen to like
But yeah.
to your headphones or whatever. Just go and hear people talk.
Yeah.
Another game that's
It doesn't know where you're on the world, I guess.
another game that is whatever. It's a Korean game. It's called Project Eve, and it looks like they went with let's take the sexy character from Nier Automata
that.
and
Yeah, I
have
heard about
DMC-ish kind of gameplay. So yeah, big butts, women with big butts and swords and like.
Yeah,
It's
I heard
whatever.
her butt was very shiny. I didn't
Yeah,
watch
her
it.
butt
I
was
just heard
very
about
shiny.
it.
It was very
That's all
shiny.
I heard.
It's my kink.
Shiny butts.
Shiny butts. Yeah,
I like 'em shiny.
I like it. I like I can
They
see
showed.
my face.
I'm
in
not sure
them.
if they showed gameplay of this previously, but they showed off Tiny Tina's Wonderland some gameplay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Okay,
it looks
that's cool.
really good. I like.
That's good.
Wait,
There's
is
the Borderlands
that
one
is that
Borderlands.
with magic.
is a new one for
Yeah,
Tiny Tina?
It's like a D&D campaign.
Oh.
That I'm playing a D&D
Yep.
campaign.
Wait, because they did that for Borderlands 2, and it was the best DLC.
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
now
no.
they're making a
Or-
full
It was
game.
one of the better
Yeah.
DLCs.
They're making a full game of it. Yeah.
So yeah, there's
I
magic.
mean,
and
Borderlands
Okay,
3
okay.
did a little. Yeah, Borderlands 3 did kind of so hopefully this gets it back up there.
So yeah,
The only thing I didn't like about the DLC in 2 was they had mimics, and it jump scared me every time a chest friggin' attacked me. I didn't care for it.
That's funny.
mimics are one of the worst, but kind of interesting. Like I played Prey, and that fucking game is just mimics everywhere.
the game.
Mimic the game. So just freaking like, I got, especially at the early game when you're so freaking weak, you gotta just like
Yeah.
is that cup gonna kill me? Like it's just, I mean, it's just a very interesting thing though.
I'm watching the trailer for Tiny Tina's Wonderland on Steam
Baby
now,
Metal?
and the game trailer uses
Yeah.
Baby Metal. Oh, I'm so happy.
That one really matches Tiny Tina. Baby Metal matches Tiny Tina. Another game that I've never heard of. Apparently, they were they announced it previously as well, but I've never heard of this one. They showed off some gameplay. It's called Forspoken. You play another female with like a lot of magic powers, and you go into another world. I'm not really sure about not the voice acting, more like the writing, because she's kind of like very Marvel-esque quippy, I guess. I don't know how to. I don't want to say Marvel like invented quippiness, but they're
Right.
very
I know what you mean,
quippy.
yeah.
Certainly, I think of like Spider-Man
Yeah.
and Deadpool, and I think of the
Yeah.
quippy people.
Yeah.
And now it's like everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it looks cool.
That's
Like
where
it
the
looks
money is.
really, really like the art style, the aesthetics, like graphics, everything looks really cool. A lot of powers just flying everywhere. Looks like a action adventure game. I'm not sure if it's open world or not. A lot of magic. So yeah. Alan Wake is getting a remaster. If that's your
It
thing.
is. What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's cool.
It's gonna take 10 years again?
Releasing October 5th apparently.
Wow, they did a shorter
What?
time. They got
It's like
it's
a
gotta go
month
back in
away.
production. It's not ready yet, guys.
And GTA 5 is coming to the PS5.
Wait,
yeah.
PS5.
Yeah, GTA.
I was like, wait,
basically,
never
they
came.
announced GTA 5 Expanded and Enhanced Edition, which comes with improved graphics, seamless character switching, whatever. GTA 5, they're just
Hasn't it
gonna
been,
milk
like,
this shit for like 50 years.
I know. I was gonna say, hasn't it been like 10 years since the next GTA game, or am I just
I think
misremembering?
they came out in
GTA
2013.
Milked more or less than Skyrim.
I know. Skyrim's, I think, on more systems, but GTA's getting up there. Did they come out around the same time? I can't remember.
No.
Not too far.
GTA 5 was 2013. Wait, how old is Karen? That sounds kind of
I'm
close though.
checking now.
2012 maybe.
Yeah. 2011 for Skyrim and 2013 for GTA. So,
Okay.
about a year and a half apart. To be fair.
So yeah, they showed off gameplay for Ghostwire Tokyo, first person, Dishonored looking, lots of magic, first person stuff. They also showed off Spider-Man 2, which is really
Yes.
interesting because it showed Peter Parker and Miles Morales in the same trailer with, I think, Kraven talking, and they also showed Venom.
Cool.
Venom's in it too, yeah. So that's interesting. Oh, you're...
Apparently, it's still going to
There
be
we
a
go.
single-player game, but I wonder if there's co-op.
That would be cool if there was co-op in
There's
it.
two Spider-Mans. That would be cool.
That'd be really cool. You could
Honestly, I
you could
just
have
want them
some
to do
funny-
a Spider-Verse game now. Like, just give us all the different
I
Spider-Man.
know. Just give me
That'd be awesome.
Give me Spider Noir, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I mean, technically you
want a
can.
game. Yeah, I want to play a character voiced by
Yeah,
Nick
I mean,
Cage.
I know.
technically you can have like the suit, but I want to.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to,
Play
I want to hear
him.
Nick Cage. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear Nick Cage when I want Spot Pig.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2. They also showed off a teaser for Marvel Wolverine, being made by Insomniac, also by the Spider-Man people. It's just like a really short teaser, no gameplay or whatever. That one's going to be quite a while. Spider-Man is coming out in 2023,
Yes.
which is fine because I can't fucking find a PlayStation 5 anywhere. So,
Yeah.
Oh no.
I understand.
There's also a couple. There's a game called Tchia. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing this properly, but it's TCHIA. It's like a indie game exploring like an island with New Caledonia like culture, made by New Caledonia developers, and like
Okay, that's really cool.
the kid that you play has like a possessing animal power, so that I'm always interested in like developers from a
Sandbox
culture
physics
making games
game.
about
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, I think I did see screenshots of this. Looks really cool.
So yeah, that's it for news for the PlayStation
That's-
Showcase. A lot of stuff though in the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all that kind of wraps up what I had heard from that too.
yeah, that's not. I mean, there's quite a bit. August and
Yeah.
September.
Oh yeah, there's some cool stuff.
August was a pretty busy month, I guess.
End of August at least. Not the beginning of August. I remember that, but end of August.
So wrap up, I guess.
You can wrap up. Shall we do the thing?
Do the thing.
Do the thing. This is Sarahscopic, SARAHSCOPIC. I'm on Twitter mostly. You can catch me at RNG and T. I also make an appearance now sometimes with my wife's channel, which is Escalia, ESKALIA. You can go ahead and say hi to either of us.
And I'm Foehamner. I'm on YouTube. I actually just put a new sketch out this week. But yeah, that's YouTube.
And Pupunoob, PUPUNOB places. This has been episode 187 of the Playonultrapodcast. Thank you for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.